the channel. So this weekend our goal is to get a lot of this other little stuff knocked out on this trailer. We're going to try to get the door, the cam bars is what they're called, the bars that lock on the door. In case you didn't know, they're called cam bars, C-A-M bars. We're going to try to get the new ones put on. I've actually already started the trailer. I had to stop and run up here to the store. We swapped out the vent. The old plastic vent on the roof was all cracked and dry rotted. There's no reason to show you how to do that. There's a million YouTube videos on how to replace a roof vent, but we went ahead and knocked that out. And then I go to take the cam bars off, and of course they have the security Torx bit in them, the Torx bit with a little pin in the center of it, security bit. I don't have any at the house, so I'm having to run up here to the local parts store and I guess buy a set. So that kind of sucks. But we're gonna get these knocked out. This thing dried in this weekend. It's calling for severe thunderstorms tonight. It is Friday afternoon, so we can't put the roof sealant stuff on. It says it has to be like 24 to 48 hours of no rain. So we are going to wait and get that on Saturday and let it dry, probably Saturday morning, and let it dry Saturday and Sunday on Mother's Day. That way it can be nice and set up before we get thunderstorms during the week, possibly. So that's the plans for this weekend. Let's see how far we get. I went and grabbed the little couple pieces of metal that I needed, and I went and grabbed my bent up aluminum 90s for the corners of the trailer. So we should be able to get the outside completely dried in pretty much. We won't get to the side door still. I haven't had time to mess with that, but I'm gonna run in here to the parts store, grab some security bits, and then I'll catch y'all back up on the trailer. So these are the little security bits that you're gonna need. You can see right there in the end of them, they had holes in them. So, and I'll show you the bolts on the actual trailer. If you're gonna replace your cam bars, you probably have the same thing. All right, so here's these Torx screws I was talking about, which I'm sure most people know what they are, but that's what they look like. So we got this side off, got everything stripped down. Get down here to the bottom, start straightening out metal, and notice that there's no weld all the way across this right here. There used to be like a tack weld here and a tack weld here and some on the inside. So like I said, we're welding everything up as we go. It looks like I also might need to add some more right there to where that was kind of broke. So we're gonna go ahead and get some weld in here, and we're gonna go ahead and get some weld all the way across here while this is apart before we put our cap over. So here's our new cam bars. They come with the whole kit, all the hardware to install them, which is pretty nice. You know, the pieces for the door. I mean, they come with everything if you need to replace your bars on your door. They come with everything. So I'm gonna get these unwrapped and go ahead and put one of them on. Not doing these until later when we do the door, but we're gonna go ahead and get these replaced because I'm working on finishing out the edges right now. And it is extremely, extremely windy down here. There's like storms moving in. So I don't know how much filming we're gonna actually get done this weekend. So I apologize for any wind that happens, but I went ahead and just now fit this cap on this corner. So we've got this corner back cap that looks back like it's supposed to be. Had to cut around your piece, you know, make it go up in there. You know the deal. So we're gonna get these bars put on this side and then head over here, get this side broke down, get all this busted stuff off, and start addressing all this metal damage down here on this corner. All right, so this is what we got going on down here in this corner. Just like everybody else's trailer has been drug on the concrete 100 freaking times. So this whole corner has been ripped out. Don't think this is accident related. You can't, when you go to hit this with a hammer, you know, you swing all you want on this, but all it does is bounce, okay? So what we're gonna try to do is I went ahead and just drilled a hole right here. We're gonna try to take this car for strapping down cars. Okay, I'm gonna hook it in there and then I'm gonna attach it somewhere under the trailer. I'm gonna crank that thing in. When I crank that in, I'm gonna try to hammer out on this. So you're trying to get that bow back out, because when you crank this in, it's still gonna be bowed like that. So just like we do on the frame machine, then we wanna hammer that back out. And I actually, before I go cranking on this, I think we're gonna go ahead and weld this up, because of course this is not welded. So we'll get the welder over here. We'll go ahead and burn this all the way in. Then we'll crank this that way. We'll beat this bow out, and hopefully, no, this metal's pretty boogered up right here, and all it does is go to right there. So we'll go ahead and get this piece of metal out, and then we'll put us a new piece in, and we'll connect this corner back to this. We'll connect this corner back to this with a new piece. That way we ain't got to straighten out this mangled up crap. And then we'll go ahead and bend this down and weld this back to that, just like we've been doing on all the sides. because as you can see, it's got a lot of flex. So I'm gonna get this all cranked up and pulled in place, and then I'll show you what we got. All right, so we got our new piece of corner iron put in, and we have our lower piece ratcheted strapped back. And I just want to show somebody that might not do this for a living, this stuff is hard to bend. It's just so flexible. So you can use a combination of like pipe wrenches and then, you know, pliers to try to bend all that metal back straight. And like I said, it's best to, if you could bend it farther in like this and then beat that out. I've already whacked that a couple of times, but a lot of people don't know wrenches, man. Pipe wrenches and adjustable wrenches. You can also use an adjustable wrench. Is an excellent way to bend a edge of metal that's really hard to bend, that you can't really keep the pliers closed on. Because when you're bending this, sometimes the pliers want to spread open. So a pipe wrench, they won't do that. And you can actually put, you know, a bar on that if you need to bend that edge around. All right, so there we go. We got our corner all back. And it's not perfectly straight. We're not looking for perfect. It looks a whole lot better. I even got some nasty boogers up inside there. So I welded this thing all the way around, put all kinds of boogers, nice old Play-Dohs all around it. So like I said, I'm not a welder, but now we have a nice straight edge that our 90-degree corner cap will go on, and the corner cap will make the beautiful edge, but at least we have some structure back now to this corner. So if it hits the concrete again coming out of a driveway or something steep, at least it's not going to continue to be flopping. Now all of that down there really needs to be straightened up, but instead of straightening that, I think I might just go get new corner iron and literally put 90-degree angle all the way the whole length of like where the trim stops all the way down it, just to beef that back up again, so it don't look so distorted. We're not cutting out this main structure because the gate's still fine, all the hinges still work. We might just eventually get under there with a sledgehammer, halfway straighten it out, and then burn in another corner iron the whole distance to add some stability back to the bottom of that. So we're gonna get this cap put on and keep it moving.
Say num num nummies.
All right, so it is 10 o'clock Friday night. We got light in the trailer, and I'm gonna call it a night. Let me show y'all what we got. So we did get the plywood on. We got, and I'll have to get better video of it in the daylight. We got our cam bars on both sides. Got this side done. It's absolutely beautiful. Tomorrow we'll probably work on, I was gonna do all this tonight, but I'm gonna just call it quits for tonight. I was gonna do the tail lights and more wiring tonight, but the basic wiring, getting the wire in here took a little bit of time. So this is the 120. So right now the trailer is plugged in on the house. This is what I wanted. So you've got them 4 boxes down here. This is 120 coming into the trailer down here, and then it shoots up and over. You got 120 right here. So your plugs have 120, and then this wire goes down. That wire is just hanging right now, but you'll have 120 on the outside trailer, 120 on the inside trailer. We went over that in another video. And then you've got 120 on this LED light up here. So you ain't got to worry about no batteries, no 12 volts, no nothing. It's solid, dependable, 120 volts. As long as the trailer's plugged in, you got power on that stuff. What I'm planning on doing is putting 12 volt everything else. So you'll have 12 volt lights like under the cabinet, where the cabinets are. That will be all 12 volts in case you are out at the track and you don't have the generator or something. So all them lights will be 12 volts. We'll have lights down the top corners at an angle. That will all be 12 volts. And then you'll probably have at least one plug or 2 plugs up front that would be 12 volts. Probably will be wired in 12 volts, but they'll be on a power converter to make them 120, hopefully. So you don't have to have the generator running, and you can pull 120 if you need to for a couple of minutes. I don't know how everybody else wires theirs, but that's kind of how I wanted to wire mine. I didn't want to have to deal with the battery situation. Like, as long as I was plugged in, I didn't want to have to depend on a battery and a converter, you know, and the battery taking a crap and then the converter not working, or the converter taking a crap and then you don't have power. I wanted to eliminate a problem and make sure that as long as you plug a drop cord into this trailer, you're gonna have 120 volts, however you can get a drop cord. And then on a separate circuit, you got the 12 volts. So that way, no matter where I'm at, no matter what the battery situation is, whatever, I don't have to worry about it. That's gonna be a wrap for tonight. We'll get back on this in the morning, and we are gonna go ahead and finish out fixing our floor finally down here. We're gonna finish putting the latches on the door. I got one side done, and it's like the bolts are not long enough. The bolts they send you are just not quite there. So I'm gonna redo the bolts. They're like the pan head with the square thing on them. So I just need to go to a hardware store, and it needs literally to be maybe half an inch longer. And I'm gonna just redo them all because I struggle to get that one side to bite, but that other side I can't get that one to bite. So we're gonna close the trailer up for tonight. The door is stupid heavy right now without the springs on it. I gotta put the springs back up top too, but I can manhandle it and get it up. So we're gonna close the trailer back up for tonight, and we're gonna get back started on it in the morning. And it's looking like, let's see here, we might start laying out where the car is gonna go. So I'm gonna measure the car in the garage, straight down with a level to the concrete, mark it, left to right, front to back, and then transfer that into the trailer. The blueprint, pretty much all I need is the front to back, pretty much where it's gonna fall at. That way I can go ahead and possibly start building cabinets this weekend. So I need to do wiring, you know, and a few odds and ends, but yeah. So that's a wrap for tonight. I'll see y'all in the morning. So we've got quite a bit done, as you can see inside there, but I'll update y'all on all that here in a minute. I went to put these cam bars on the side, and there's nothing in there. I mean, it's just aluminum. There's no, like on the rear door, how you have blocking. There's nothing. There's no 2x4 to block it up or nothing. So you're literally squeezing and bolting it down and just sucking this metal in super tight, and then there's nothing between it. So that's kind of crazy on your side door. So if you're redoing a trailer, you might want to check that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and slip this 2x4 in there, and then that way you're drilling through the 2x4 and through the plywood so that you can really tighten this thing down and sandwich it down tight. The thickness in the wall is actually 1 inch. Your stud is actually 1 inch. So instead of ripping down that 2x4, I decided just to go grab these. These are decking boards. So as you can see, they're gonna work perfect. There's some I had laid on the side of the house. They're treated. Ain't gotta worry about them. So we're gonna slip them in there and then drill through everything and get this cam bar on. So the bolts they send you in this kit are just absolute junk. Throw them in the trash. I had, let's see here, like I had 3 that had to be cut off the back. Like I started to tighten them up, they wouldn't get all the way tight, and then they just wouldn't turn no more, so I cut them off, completely cut them off and replaced them with, I think, the old hardware. Same thing on this one, you know, put them on finger tight, take a ratchet to them, not an impact gun, just a ratchet, and just start turning them, and then all of a sudden they get tight, and then if you go to take them back off, then they get even more tighter, and then they snap. So if you buy these eBay cam bars, throw the hardware in the trash, reuse your hardware that you take off, or go buy new hardware, because I don't know what's the deal. I don't know if maybe these are stainless, and so maybe they're really weak or something, and they're just not liking each other, the nut and bolt. I don't know. They're trash though. When I first put my block in there to hold it in place so you can drill through it, you can see I just put a sheetrock screw a little bit in each one. Now that they're drilled through and bolted together, they won't go nowhere. But that's one tip, just hold it together. I'll take the screw back out. I'm gonna put the screws back in this plywood around this side, and we're good to go on that. The new bar is on there, looks good, way stronger, way sturdier than it was because it don't have all the flex in it now. So we're gonna button this back up. All right, so it is Sunday morning. Where were y'all at yesterday? So I didn't see y'all, I don't think, all day Saturday. I just worked, went. So I worked pretty late last night and got some done, but then I realized I come out here and plan to wire up the brake lights and get all the lights working last night. And then that's when I realized that I don't have everything I needed. So I ordered some wires and figured that out, and I thought I ordered my brake lights, but it ends up I had no brake lights, like no lights actually put on the trailer because the other ones were busted. So I had to order them last night, and then I went to the tongue of the trailer, and let me show you what's up there because it just turned out to be a nightmare. So they had the battery in here, and it is just a wiring nightmare. As you can see, wires everywhere. This cable is just crazy. I mean, look how stiff this thing is. Watch. Let's see here. I mean, it takes some force to bend it. Just like that, look, it'll just stand up. So it was just an absolute freaking nightmare. Everything is just stiff and all over the place. I don't know if this battery's any good, but yeah. So I went inside and I was like, we're just gonna redo it all over. So it's not exactly what I wanted to do. I didn't want to spend more money, but that cable just being so stiff, it's old. You know, when stuff starts getting stiff and old, that it's just brittle, and I don't want to have no issues. So the wiring that's all like hanging out of the walls, you know, that was in here before, I don't really know 100% what they have going on. So we're not really going to use much of it. I'm going to leave it there so that it's there if I need it. But basically, and the wiring under the trailer doesn't make much sense to me at all from how trailer lights should be wired when you look at trailer wiring diagrams. So what we're gonna do is I ordered more, like 50 feet of wire this time. Last time I only ordered 25 feet of some different color packets. This time I ordered 50 feet, and I'm gonna just go ahead and rewire the whole trailer all the way from the tongue all the way to the back. That way I personally know how everything's wired and, you know, where all the wires are at, because they had all kinds of different stuff going on with wiring, and I don't want to take a chance of spending time trying to figure it all out, and then you get it figured out and start hooking stuff up and this stuff don't work because it's old wiring, or it's been cut, or it's been spliced, or somebody used a different color wire because they were short, you know. So we're just going to get rid of it all, redo it. So I ordered all that last night, ordered a new pigtail for the front for the plug. A pretty cool one, actually comes with a junction box. I'll show you all that whenever that comes in next week. But I think today, where it is, I'm in the hoodie, as you can tell, it is like 55 here this morning. I think it's miserable. So yesterday it felt like it was 80s or 90s, and then today it feels like it's in the 40s. I think the low last night was like 46 or something. It was supposed to get down to, or 50. It was stupid. So it's a little breezy and cool outside. We're gonna get the trailer roof done today. We're absolutely gonna get that done. That has to be done. And then we're gonna patch this floor down here. So last night I did go ahead and add in my other stud right here where the metal didn't break right. That way we could screw that from the outside. I fixed the end box last night, the wheel well. I welded our cap onto that. So today, now that that's fixed and that's in, we could put our floor strip in, and we can put our sheet of plywood back on the wall. Before we put the plywood on the wall, I've got to cut them little screw heads off that are poking through, and we got to safely route the wire through there that way, and then route a pigtail out this way so that we can put a receptacle box on the outside of here. Yesterday from Lowe's, I picked up the covers for this, and then we build all this back here. So this is probably what everybody's like, show, you know, let's see what's going on back there. So here's the plans for right now. Is what I kind of did was I went ahead and built a rough frame yesterday, and then I do have Hardwood Flooring. So I have a buddy that owns a flooring company. I used to own a flooring company. I did flooring for many years, but what we have here is just pine. So he had some laying around, these bundles left over off a job site. He was like, I asked him if he had any flooring left over off anything, and he was like, yeah. And I was like, let me grab some. That way I can finish all of this, you know, sand it, probably use a water-based product on it, not a polyurethane. Water-based is a little more durable, but pine's not durable anyway. You know, pine's super easy to dent, super easy to scratch. So we're not really looking for a workbench per se up here to like be beating on. I feel like if I'm going to be beating on anything, that it's going to be down on the floor with a lot more sturdy. I mean, this thing is solid, but well, but I just don't want to be beating all over my workbench, and I kind of want to keep it more clean. I want this place to have a little bit more of a home feeling and not so much of a garage or a trailer feel whenever I'm done with it. So we're gonna come in here this morning and work on getting the upper cabinets laid out. plan to go all the way across the V-nose with the upper cabinets, and then a little side cabinet right here. I don't know the height. Basically, down here will be a side cabinet, or yeah, side cabinet, and all this will be a cabinet. Now, originally, I had the idea of putting the Harbor Freight toolbox in there with the slide-out drawers and just all kinds of different things. I don't think right now I'm gonna do any of that. That's what I'm out here this morning for, is to kind of figure things out. I was thinking I'm gonna just put two big doors on this, and then put a ton of shelves and cubbies in there. Same thing with the top, maybe 2 big doors or 4 little doors or something, and just a ton of inside room where we can put dividers and stuff. And then I will just have smaller toolboxes, not like one big toolbox, but just your normal like carry around toolboxes that go in there with like maybe one with wrenches, pliers, stuff like that. Like just smaller, more organized, rather than having a big toolbox, because the car will literally come up to like here somewhere. Like the car is going to come way up, so it's not like I have tons of room anyway. And I don't know, I think it would keep it more of a homey feeling without having to see a toolbox thing. And then the cool thing about being able to take the toolbox out of here, like if you have small carry toolboxes, is that you can take them out to work on the side of the trailer in the pit area. If you have just a toolbox in here with the drawers, then every time you need a tool, you got to come in here, open a drawer, grab a tool, and run back outside out there. So I don't think my car, I've built it more for like a street car, you know, so it's not like it would need a ton of servicing between rounds. So it's not like you're like a race motor or some big horsepower race motor that needs valves checked and plugs checked and, you know, everything checked between rounds. Mine's not like that. So smaller toolboxes should be perfectly fine for just repairs and stuff like that. Of course, you need tools. Don't be a dummy and think you don't need tools. But yeah, so today I'm just going to try to figure this out. What I'm doing is I'm burning up scrap wood that I have here at the house. So like this was a bench at the shop that we took apart. I brought home the wood. I'm just literally going through the wood I already have. We all know the price of wood, the price of metal, the price of material is high. So I'm trying to just clean the shed out and just burn up wood I have, cut wood up. So all this is used wood. It all gets painted though. So I mean, why not? You know, why put brand new wood down that you're just going to paint anyway and you're not going to see it? So I'm going to keep digging all the wood out, keep cutting it and burning up everything I have. Once I get all that used up, then I will kind of figure out what I want to do. And I'm kind of thinking as I go. I do have a Harbor Freight toolbox at my shop for all my sanding supplies, bodywork stuff, and I have 2 empty roll-around carts that are just flat, you know, service carts, not like toolbox carts. So I'm thinking about taking the toolbox cart and emptying everything out of it, all the body supplies, putting it in a roll-around cart, and then putting the toolbox cart in here to have the toolbox. But again, I kind of don't want it. I kind of do want it. I'm just all over back and forth. So I just kind of wanted to update y'all this morning before I got going. There's not really a lot to film like along the way. You know, I plan to come in here hopefully today, just get a lot done, and then this afternoon I can catch y'all up on everything and, you know, show you what we got accomplished. So let me get to work and I'll get back up with y'all here in a few. All right, so we got some upper cabinets framed out. Originally on this one, I was gonna split it and have 2 doors that open like this, but this measures 33 inches and this right here to the center measures 31. So I think to keep it symmetrical, we're gonna leave that one full. So I've just left them wide open. I think that's the best bet for right now. If I wanna come in here and put a divider in here, I can very easily later. Probably one that removes. It's probably what I will do actually, is put a divider in that one. That way it keeps them separate. I'm either gonna do one giant door that folds up like this, I'm thinking, because that way it's not swinging like out in your face or nothing. Folds up and hooks to the ceiling to keep it up. You know, maybe that one folds up, hook to the ceiling. Or I'll do them when they swing open. It's just the only thing about that is like if you swing that one open, then you have to close this one back to swing that one open. And it's just annoying versus when you could swing that one up and then have everything wide open if you needed to be digging in all the cabinets. Yeah, we're gonna cover this face with something. I'm thinking we're gonna do all the way from this corner all the way around to here in trailer skin, so I can get more of that, you know, aluminum sheeting. And so to cut down on some of the plywood look in here, I think I'll do the walls, such as like a backsplash, or at least just the backsplash right there. I might do that instead of having to do them little strips. I don't know, we'll figure it out. But I'm thinking I'm gonna do that aluminum, and then down this side will be aluminum, and then I might even do all of the face aluminum in it, and then cut out the pockets possibly, you know, and then trim it out with more aluminum or something, and then do the wood doors maybe just painted. Actually, I might base coat, clear coat them at the shop so they're high gloss. Maybe I'll do the doors, the faces in MDF. I do got some trim wood. I don't know, I'm gonna figure it out as I go. I'm thinking down here the best bet for these is definitely big giant doors. That one might be best to put some shelves in because it's little, so that's probably going to be what I'll do there. But I'm definitely thinking for these big doors that swing open, like doors that swing that way, that one will swing that way, and then that one will swing that way maybe. I don't know. Then that messes me up if I put a toolbox there. See, I got to figure all that out too, which I really have no room. I mean, the car is pretty wide. It's been pretty tight in here. I don't think I really actually want to put nothing there. Yeah, we won't do that. If anything, maybe we'll put something right in the center, maybe a big giant piece of round PVC pipe or something to put stuff in, or some kind of small shelves. I don't know. Maybe we will just move in the end of the cabinet right here where the hinges are, like right here, and build a box for your chairs, you know, like the fold up style chairs. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll build a box there or something, because I want to be able to walk up. I got to be able to walk up this side around the car on top of the box to get a strap on this front wheel up here. It's going to be a pain. The winch will pull it in right here in the center, but I got to be able to secure that down. What would actually be pretty cool is if I went back and cut the wall out and had the door to open from the outside so you can open up to get to that wheel. But for right now, we don't want to spend no more money, so we'll get something. There's a D-ring and a D-hook in the one right there that's missing right there. This side will be easy, obviously, because you have the door right here to strap it down, so that won't be hard at all. The backs will be easy. This is the only corner we got to keep open. Thinking about boxing in this all the way to the ceiling, or putting something right there the width of the wheel well, you know, for hoodies, fire suit, stuff like that. But I haven't 100% decided yet. I probably more than likely will. I just got to figure out how I want to do it. So that toolbox is probably going to stay right there. I'm probably going to try to polish it up a little bit, but it'll probably get mounted to the floor right there for just whatever right inside the door. And then we'll have all of our hooks for tying down the car hung on, you know, the wall or whatever. That's where I'm at right now. Figure I'd just give y'all a quick... Man, this wind is crazy out here. Figured I would just give y'all a quick update. Holy crap, I got it all over me. I got the roof done. Flash and seal stuff. Let me show you what we got. This stuff's amazing. Gotta get that off. So it goes on your roof, not your face. But this is what we're using. I don't know if it's right. I don't know if somebody is gonna point out different. It says over here trowelable. I mean, I was literally just glopping it on with the freaking brush. It was absolutely amazing. So I think I'm gonna go back over it one more time because of the cool factor. So and just to make sure I didn't miss anything. But basically all I did today was put the trim back on the side. We did do that, and I used it in a caulking form to do the trim on the side. It's all messy, but you gotta remember, I'm gonna be taping from here, taping this down, painting this all probably a gloss black or a satin black, and then we'll be taping the trim up, and we'll be painting all this, I'm thinking battleship gray. So you won't see none of this after it's painted, and I'll probably take some sandpaper and try to get some of it off. But that's what it looks like. You basically just glop it on all over all your seams. Everywhere that's in the center is where they screwed like Luan down first, I think, and then put the roof on, because there's some of it torn and there's screws in there, but the screw is not through the roof. It's like under the roof, and because of the vibrations and the screw head has wore it through. So if your trailer's leaking, check for them little screw heads and just coat the roof. So this is where the damaged roof meets the new roof, and I just glopped it all on, man. So we're gonna let that dry this weekend. I still have to order the trim and do down the back and finish it out, because the old trim of course is too short. So I got to get that ordered. Once I put that around there and get that brushed out, I'll probably grab 1 more gallon of that stuff, because that's going to be just enough to glop this on, and probably do a little bit more. This don't need to be coated, but I want to coat from here all the way to the front with it. I guess I'll go ahead and do that so it matches, but I just want to do the whole roof so that over all the joints is double, and then also so that it helps it stay cool at the track in the summer. And maybe some of the rubber will insulate it just a little bit to quiet it down when the wind goes across the top of it. But yeah, that's where we're at for right now. I'm gonna take a break. It is Sunday, a little after lunch, and I'm gonna take a break, and then it's still chilly and breezy, and then we'll probably move back in here, and I'll probably get this wiring done, get this plywood cut, get this floor patched. That way all that's done. And if I have time, I'll move on to possibly building cabinet doors or cutting the metal for some of that. I just got to make sure that we have enough metal. I got to lay it out, make sure we have enough metal, which I can go buy more. It's not a big deal. Oh, and I need to get the wheel well arch back on. I'll probably do that today. I got to replace this piece right here where it's damaged. So, and I'm guessing I might replace this piece. I might run it to my buddy. I don't know. Probably won't. But I got to at least have enough for that and the door. Like I said, I can buy more from him. So I'd love to get some more black, and like I said, do the inside. But yeah, so that's going to be a wrap from break. I missed some, got some bulging out right there. Maybe I'll take a razor blade before I paint it and touch it up. I still got to also screw off that joint. That's a double joint, whereas because of just the different layout. And I still got to screw all this off. So we'll probably definitely after lunch focus on getting the outside buttoned up, because the inside can be worked on in any weather, and I really want to get the outside buttoned up. So let's take a break. All right, so we're finishing out this top back here, and I'm just doing a simple burning the wood trick. Most people burn it all over, and I might end up doing that, but right now I'm just doing the edges, so it gives it a burnt distress look around the edge, like on every crack. Then I'm gonna step back, see how that looks. Kind of want something a little different than to just normal burning everything. When I did my garage originally, I burnt all of the doors and the whole 9 yards, and then I actually stained it with a gray stain, like a gray wash, and it looked pretty decent. But I'm just, I don't know, messing with it right now, seeing what it looks like with just the burnt edges. So this works better if you use, which I have around back, an actual propane torch, like for a grill. And they make an attachment that has a big head on it that will burn way more even. But it's basically like a flamethrower that you burn off grass and stuff with around on like farms. And I just wasn't trying to go get that big thing out for just this little countertop. I was gonna stain it black, ebony, but I actually don't have none for some reason here at the house. Normally I keep a couple of colors on hand at the house. I have Provincial, which I stain a lot of stuff with in my house, and I have a little bit of the gray wash, the gray stain, but it's just not enough to do all of this. So I just kind of was like, okay, well, what can we do different? See how that just kind of looks like maybe like an oil leak, you know, like on the edges. So I'm thinking about going with that and not doing the whole board. Kind of looks like fluid leaked in, you know, over time and bled up between the cracks. So let me get this burnt out however I decide I want to do it, and then I'm going to coat it with some water-based polyurethane stuff. It's water-based. Polyurethane and water-based not the same, but for some reason this can from Lowe's says water-based and polyurethane. So let me do this and I'll get back with y'all and show y'all what we end up with. All right, so there's what I ended up with. I left just the edges and I piled on the water-based, man. Piled it on. That way it drips all down in the cracks and just fills everything in. And then you'll come back and you'll sand this and, you know, you'll recoat it. So the plywood, all I did was just put a sand on it, sand it down, went ahead and did that just so the cabinets are not like plywood bottoms. And then I'll sand all that, you know, and recoat it again. And then, like I said, we're probably going to do the aluminum over all the faces. So I like this outline look. I think by the time we get black aluminum background or diamond plate, whatever I decide to do, and we get some LED lights under here reflecting off the gloss, you know, and all this is black aluminum, it will really look good having this rugged wood countertop look. So we're going to pile on a ton of water base to make it nice and thick. You know, just roll with that. I think it's going to look good when everything's said and done with the lights reflecting. So that's going to be a wrap for this video for this weekend. We did get the outside screwed all off. I didn't finish the inside. I loaded everything up. It's a wrap. So still didn't finish that bottom piece. Didn't finish that sidewall piece. I still got daylight, but it's just been cold here. No sunlight today. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. It's Mother's Day, so I'm gonna go inside and relax and hang out with the wife for the rest of the afternoon. Maybe mess with some editing, some YouTube videos for y'all. But that's a wrap. We'll probably bring this thing back home next weekend and hopefully finally be able to actually make some big visual changes. So this thing should be painted here in a week or two. So just have to see how everything goes. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and I will catch y'all on the next one.